Hi, back again, podcast 2 of 3, all about self-healing your own trauma. So, this one is about the transformation that occurs when you are healing from trauma and how healing trauma reshapes your mind, your body, your spirit, your life. It's so uplifting. I'm Wendy Gillespie. And today we're exploring the profound transformation that occurs when you heal from trauma. Healing from trauma is more than just feeling better. It's a fundamental shift inside you, and you experience the world in a different way. When you heal, you release the hold of the old pains and fears that you carry. Your nervous system calms down. Your emotions become more balanced, and you begin to trust yourself and others in new ways. Relationships that once felt difficult can improve, and you learn to set boundaries that keep you safe, that protects your well-being. And self-compassion replaces harsh self-judgment. The transformation doesn't happen overnight. I know from my experience, it took me 40 years. My trauma was complex and multiple layered, but I can tell you now that the tools that I've found and used successfully can shortcut your healing process by years. So please don't go, oh my God, 40 years. For me, it was that, but it's because I found traditional medical and other clinical practices were not useful. They were stock standard, tell you what you need to do and say and know. And it wasn't a deeply reflective healing journey for me. So, it's a journey filled with breakthroughs and setbacks. But every step forward brings resilience and strength. I always liken it to you're taking 3 steps forward and sometimes one tiny step back. And I always think the steps forward are big because they are opening up new thoughts and new ways of feelings and new opportunities. Whereas the steps back are just taking you back to where you were before, temporarily. So that's why I think the going backwards, if you succumb to feeling sorry for yourself or something else, it's only a small setback. It's okay. So let me share a story of personal, example of where trauma has affected me, but I can illustrate how the healing has been so transformational. Because you're on the same path. We're all on the same path. There's so many of us on this planet that have suffered needlessly. But we can take control of our own healing. So I was born and raised in a family with alcoholism and violence and sexual abuse. So you name it, it happened. And it took me a while and learning lots of different strategies to release the anger, the hurt, the frustration, the disappointment, all those emotions as a wounded child, as an adult, came to be carrying. And all of those things really influenced my decisions as a young adult and then as a parent and as a working person in employment. Because I had no self-esteem, did not recognize how low I was, that I allowed significant bullying to occur in the workplace, in which I suffered more trauma. So once I started healing, once I started understanding why I was triggered in different ways and what I was carrying from years ago that I didn't need to, once I released that, oh my gosh, my life was so much better. So if you're on this path, celebrate the progress you've made, no matter how small. And in our next episode, we'll talk about how you can take ownership of your healing, how you can lead your journey and create a life free from trauma's chains. Thank you for listening. And if you found this episode helpful, please share it with people who may be going through something similar and who may benefit from this. And see you in the next podcast, which is about taking ownership of your healing journey. Bye for now.